Ladies and gentlemen,
let's get started.
I have thought a lot in the last 24 hours.
Time to get your weekly sports fix.
By the skin of their teeth, they lost.
Then you can just ride it the whole thing.
With Stix.
All right, let's go. Let's get into it. What you got? We got a little NFL, homie.
Just a little bit, because it's week one, which turned out to be a whole lot. And as a small minor footnote, football in general was fucked up this past week. If you like anything in college, or if you like to go to the counter and make a little wager every now and a little adult wager every now and again, nothing went to script last week in football as a sport in general. So there it is. And hey, the homie might be on some college football moving forward. I'm telling y'all, watch out.
Let's go, homie.
Watch out. If I start coming with some college information, boy, the game done changed. But the NFL was just as crazy as all get out. But I did tell you, just jump off. I will jump right in the diving board into the deep end. I did tell you, and you can rewind it. The Rams will lose some of these games to these major heavyweight competitors. And I told you that. I told you that, and I told you that.
You need to get some confidence, homie, like Rich and I had for our Monday night football game.
I'm not unreasonable.
Get that confidence.
I'm not unreasonable. Now, I'm going to tell you it's worse than what you saw. I will tell you that it's worse than what you saw because almost to the letter, I am a team guy. I'm a team first guy. I told you that the defense was going to be a problem. And wasn't that the problem? That was the damn problem. They have no chemistry, no continuity on defense. And until that is built, they're going to always be close to giving up 24. Remember, I told you this. The homie told you. The Rams are going to give up 24 plus a game.
I agree with you on that. Watching the Rams play, look, they got Bobby Wagner now, Aaron Donald. What other dream team do you want? And it kind of reminds me of when Gary Payton and Shaquille O'Neal and Karl Malone and everybody went to the Lakers.
Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, rest in peace for sure. And everybody went there, and then nobody wanted to pass the ball.
Right.
No chemistry. Everybody was a superstar, and the Lakers, they played horrible. The Rams, they got a lot of superstars on defense. They did not play to their talent level at all.
And Rams are getting burnt. I'm talking about burnt. To where you got Stephon Diggs turning around to look at you. Oh,
and say
too late.
You
can't ever. I don't care how much you have to have a short memory as a cornerback. You can't ever talk shit to no wideout if you getting torched like that at any point in time. Okay, you're not a big time wideout. Shut your mouth. Get in front of a guy. Stay between the guy and the ball. That's basic. Okay, and then technique. He's just getting lost. He's doing too much. Jalen Ramsey, his head, I knew that he was going to be a dude with a big head. We thought Marcus Peters had a big head. We thought Talib had a big head. Oh, this dude right here. I knew
Devin Revis.
Same
thing. Big head, right?
Exactly. So, and that's what I'm saying. So this is going to be rough because, again, they have the number one toughest schedule going through. So this is going to be a trial. There's still no issues with Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford didn't look at Allen Robinson for one. He had Allen Robinson mad times. Trust me. He was
too busy trying to throw the ball to Skrotomac or whatever his name is.
Wow.
Well, I didn't even.
He was.
I couldn't even tell if the Rams had an O-line. I thought he spent more time trying to make sure he didn't get destroyed. And look, Stafford's not a scrambler.
No,
he's not. You ever seen Brady try to scramble? Same thing. He's not a Mahomes. He's not going to sidearm the ball. He's a very pure quarterback. And so I think he got in a bad situation where he just didn't know what to do.
Both of these dudes from the Super Bowl look like ass. Both of these teams from the Super Bowl look like straight ass. Matt Stafford was getting thrown around like Joe Burrow was getting thrown around last year. Oh, and Joe Burrow picked right off from where he left off at, getting thrown around last year and throwing picks. Now, the difference is Joe Burrow a little bit young and mad resilient. That's a boy with some cajones. Get back in the game, boy. Even though it was the Steelers, you should have been beating that ass from the beginning. But it was the Steelers. I'm telling you, he had some. You see a couple of them catches that Chase made that they called out of bounds. I'm talking about his damn toenail.
It was just barely.
Yeah. I'm telling you, those boys gonna be dynamic. They should. There's no way that game with them dudes should have been that close. Okay, speaking of close, the week one tie. Anybody? This is what we in for this year.
I think that's kind of that was the Colts game, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't agree with the tie. Battle it out.
I agree.
If you go 10, you know what? It gives complexity to the game, but I mean, geez, when you want to talk about disheartening to, go and it's like you didn't win and you didn't lose.
Yep. You just had another practice game.
And you're going to get screwed at the end of the season,
Yep. Yeah, I think I agree with that 100%. I think it should be, if they want to keep the same touchdown score wins, but then if you kick a field goal, you can go back and then the other team gets a chance to go back and equal it out, right?
Yeah.
But then after that, first score wins, right? Like it should be that even no ties, keep going. I understand the injury of the game, but you got to have a winner, right? Like,
that witching hour was wild, right? So anybody who's red zone fans, when the fourth quarters in the West Coast 10 a.m. window, what is it for y'all? The morning window for y'all out there? Was it noon?
11. They're hour
11, yeah, 1 hour, yeah.
Okay, so that morning window, I'm talking about them fourth quarters hit and that damn witching hour shit goes on. Scott Hansen brings his little gelled up hair ass out there and starts talking, right? I'm telling you, that game, I didn't think that game with Joe Burrow and them was going to ever end. I didn't think the damn game with the damn tie was going to ever end. The damn horseshoe, bro. Tie with Matt Ryan, an upgrade from Carson Wentz.
That's a disappointment.
Against the Texans, who we know like the back of our damn hand, because this tells you everything about this division. Everybody, let's throw in the Jaguars in there. Let's throw in the number 1 seed from last year. Let's throw the Titans in there. All of them lose. Well, actually, they didn't lose. They didn't all lose. None of them won.
I know. It went from NFC East that we talked mad trash about, right? To the AFC
Giants.
South.
Yeah.
After you just had the number 1 seed come from the AFC South last year, right? Tennessee Titans.
Well, I don't know. We might be pretty bad too now, because if you look at the way the Rams looked, and then the Seahawks, everybody's not thinking that they're going to do a whole lot. The 49ers look like ass. The Cardinals, that's all they know how to do. That's all they know how to do.
You even called that out on the NFC West picks with the Cardinals there, homie, that we did. Check that out, everybody.
They wasted a whole bunch of money. They should have kept that damn study clause in there, because clearly whatever he doing, he ain't studying enough, damn it.
Hey, and you know what we're not talking about is Mariota. Didn't get the dub, but you want to talk about, coming from the grave. It's not a Jameis Winston. It's not some of these other guys that, were good high draft picks and just kind of struggled through injury. He kind of just got the shaft and, had a few bad games and got kind of stuck. Same thing with Geno Smith. Mm-hmm. Got dumped down into the dumpster. The only thing that does is that makes you a little more healthy when you get out and play. And Mariota, I'm impressed.
I was just going to say, everybody, throws through Atlanta. I think I even threw Atlanta under the bus when we were doing our preview with them, with that division. He definitely did not play bad. I don't know his stats right off the top of my head, but my boy Jameis, go Knowles, out-dueled him a little bit, even with all of his phalanges in his knees and the pain and the suffering he was going through.
This
drama freaking queen, dude.
This dude's an actor. But see, them two dudes are tied. That's funny. Again, here we go with these two guys again. It's like we're in a time machine with Mariota and Winston again.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? In the same division now, right? So we're gonna rework this story again, which is a good story. But Marcus Mariota, I'm trying to tell you, I told you that he deserved the job last year. Okay,
yeah, I agree.
When jobs was coming up, I told you Trubisky deserved one, and they both got one. I'm 2 for 2.
There you go.
I think a lot of it had to do with teams for both those guys, both for Mitch, Mariota, and Stafford. You know,
Yes,
you
sir.
get these guys on better
There you go.
teams, all of a
There's another
sudden,
one.
you know.
Well, we'll see what's up with Matt Ryan. We'll see how that works
Yeah,
out.
Matt
Yeah,
Ryan.
that's an interesting one. I like Matt Ryan, but yeah, that's
Stix, I got one for you
Yeah.
real quick, and I'm gonna let you run with it. I know you're ready to take over. Okay,
Mhm.
look, I got one for you. Here's it. Okay, this is stat of the week. Okay, here we go. It's a quarterback stat.
Okay.
30 for 29, 360 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 0 sacks.
Quit playing. He's
That's
terrible.
the dude
That'll
that
never
you
happen
said.
again.
You've been calling
Mahomes?
this dude basura trash
Is that
for how long?
at least 3 years since we started doing this podcast. So I mean, you know, now I don't believe and we're gonna talk about week 2 and who plays on week 2.
All right.
Your
We're
boy.
We're about to see on Thursday. Okay. Damn it.
Well,
We're
Not
gonna
happening.
see on Thursday.
it proved its point. You know, Hill went down to the Dolphins and he played great. But guess what? Mahomes just picked up, said, all right, I'll find someone else. I'll sidearm it, I'll side sling it to someone else.
No look pass.
Whataburger, just whatever. Just slinging it. I mean, the guy is a good guy. Got a lot of friends that live out in Kansas City. He's a good guy, does a lot for the community. He finds a joy in the game, and you can tell when he plays, you know. I mean, you haven't seen something like that, you know, somebody that makes moves like that in football. That's stuff you see, no look passes and stuff like that. You see that in basketball. You don't see that in football. You don't ever see that in football. It's revolutionizing kind of the quarterback position, you know.
And here's the difference. Patrick Mahomes throwing the no look pass. Matt Stafford throwing the no look pass. You get two different results.
You do. I was thinking the same thing. I saw a picture of Matthew Stafford trying to throw and it looked awkward. And I don't know where it landed. It wasn't anywhere near the receiver, but
it's gonna be tough.
He tried.
So all right, you want to just close out? We have to talk a little bit about the Seahawks Broncos game. You want to close out the week 1 with that and the bets? Home?
Yeah, I know your seats
and the
hometown
plays of the week from last week. We have to hit those too, and then we'll get to week 2.
Let's run through it.
So yeah, as we discussed, you know, what a game on Monday night. You know, the Gino played how Gino needed to play. Not too fond of his only 195, but what? First half was solid, but the second half all around was typical Seahawks second half play where there was zero offensive game plan. What the hell happened to the first half, or what the hell happened in the second half that you didn't like in the first half that you had to change everything to do this to get there? And
are you pissed off about that as a fan or as a bettor? Come on, man.
I'm as a better
Denver,
about
man.
That money, boss. How about that money?
Denver went into the locker room and figured it out. I mean, that's the problem when you come out hot, is you set yourself up to getting totally recognized of what you're doing.
Is something
and then
we
it's
see
tough
every time. I mean,
did they really? I don't
know. So here's something that we saw every time, and I was talking about this. How many yards does Russell Wilson have?
260? Was it 260 or 3?
I thought it was up in the threes. I thought it was like
340, I think.
340, something like that, right? Did Denver win?
No.
What did we see last year with Seattle? Russell Wilson was getting yards up and down everyone was talking about how great he was, talking about MVP. Couldn't win. Couldn't win. You know, people are like, hey, getting on the coach. Oh, well, you pay Russell Wilson this much money. If I was the coach and if I knew anything about Russell Wilson's stats, I'd be just a tad bit nervous about 4 and 5. Because he's not the Russell Wilson of back-to-back Super Bowl playing kid that was rolling out, did everything it took. Something happened. He started getting real nervous about things. He started struggling a little bit. And I think one of the things that we saw in Seattle was, man, Russ was getting a lot of accolades personally, but the W, which is the most important thing on a team game, just wasn't happening. It was, and it's, I mean, he was down there. He could have ran in for a score himself. He didn't have to hand it off. So
what? Okay, so this almost sounds like, I love to delve into this stuff. Okay, everybody knows this. This sounds like the rumor that just came out this week, and it was so convenient that this particular rumor happened to come out this week. I don't know if it was a story that's been around, but apparently Coach Pete has been covering for Russell's decision to, I want to be the MVP and let's throw the ball in the Super Bowl that year. This speaks, if that is his true personality, hero ball, that speaks to exactly what we saw. Now, we didn't know that we were seeing this, right? But I'm telling you, now that we know, I've seen this story come out, I'm going, that's what we saw.
You see it. And I called it on our show here last week. As I said, Russ was always looking for fourth quarter heroics, tiptoe and lock it into the end zone for that final throw, stat all the time.
Yes, he did.
And, that's why he was calm the whole game. But the problem was he wasn't making it happen anymore. And even in this game, I think he was purposely making it so it would go down to the fourth down and he was going to go ahead and take it and have the heroics and win the game. And everybody's going to talk about how great he is. And I just think that as a player, you need to start doing it better. If you can roll the ball down for 300 plus yards, you better start. Denver, I'm going to say it right here, Denver, much better team, much more talent, coached terribly, and there's too much hype on Russell Wilson.
I saw a damn run game last year that I thought Aaron Rodgers is going to love coming to this son bitch right here. Okay. That was ready. That running game they didn't even put together 100 yards between them, I don't think.
Well, did you?
Devontae and Melvin?
Yeah, thank you. And I didn't think there was no impact from them. Aside from that, I'm almost positive Gordon had 2 fumbles, 1 fumble, one for sure.
You guys catch Shelby Harris's interview after the game? He said, Denver, that's what you get for trading your best defensive lineman for a quarterback.
Yeah.
And the last thing that he says, he goes, let's ride.
Yeah. He
dropped the mic
right
and left. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I think it meant more to Shelby Harrison. I mean, we talked a little bit about, meeting him. He lives in our neighborhood. Still, his wife's here, got kids playing ball here and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, the guy's passionate. Unfortunately, it looks like he's got a back injury, but he got traded away to a team, and he's got more go get him than Russell Wilson does. He's got passion. He doesn't care. He's made a bunch of comments about the stupid marshmallow helmets they wear in preseason. He doesn't care about anybody.
Right.
And he reminds me of Bennett. He reminds me a lot of Bennett.
Okay.
Right. And so, I mean, it was just hilarious because he's like, that's what you get. That's what you get. You trade me to the other team, I'm going to force fumbles. You trade me to the other team, so, and he fits right into Carroll. Because look, Pete Carroll, I said this last week, Pete Carroll, he's used to getting kids in, freshmen, sophomores, they leave, juniors, seniors, and he's getting fresh guys in. He's got a fresh bunch of guys, a bunch of no draft guys that are just out hungry, and he's just directing their energy. And it reminds me of when Russell Wilson first came into the league, after we picked up what's his name with the long hair. What they call him? They called him the quarterback Jesus or whatever. Signed him for 11.
Whitehurst, clipboard Jesus.
Yeah. And Russell Wilson came on, and then you had all these guys that were, undrafted free agents, drafted in the 3rd round, and just got them fired up. And so
the glory era.
We don't know. We know what Pete Carroll can do with a bunch of young bucks and get them fired up and get that adrenaline focused in the right way. And we saw it happen on Monday. Is it going to fizzle out? I don't know, but I wasn't surprised that Russ got a lot of yards and got a loss. So,
well, hey, Pete was not short for energy. You see Coach Pete jumping up and down, running down the damn
with his old man hands and his New Balance shoes.
Hey, damn it, Pete got more agility than me. I'll tell you that right now.
Everybody has more agility than you, homie. I'll tell you that right now.
Man, what can you do?
Pete Carroll ain't falling down on the ring camera in the front yard as he walks outside, and he's got you by 25 years.
Yeah.
So Hey, well, let's just close out week one with the homie hometown plays of the weeks, and then I'm sure you know, um, homie will have some nonsense to spew here in a second about some bets, I'm sure. Um, so last week's homie hometown plays of the week, homie had Cooper Cup over 100 yards receiving. We told you all that that's a given until they tell us otherwise. 17-3 or 18-3 now in the last 21 games or some shit like that. 13 catches, 128 yards and a tud. You also said, homie, rushing over 100 yards as a team. They had a total of 52.
Look, that's your boy Cam Akers.
Like Bon Jovi said, halfway there.
Halfway there. Oh, I love some Bon Jovi back in the day. So I picked on your Buffalo and Rams game, homie. I picked over 3.5 field goals. Obviously, that didn't hit, only 2. But in the Seahawks game, I picked Russ 2 INTs, and Rich called me out and made me pick, and I picked Woolen, and he helped me out with Quandre. Quandre had that interception in the end zone, went through his hands like he was Jamal Adams out there on defense, hitting him in the face mask or something.
Gotta catch it.
And then Woolen should have had one, but he didn't turn his head around and grab the ball. He got a PI call instead. So, but Wilson didn't have any interceptions. I thought over a half an interception, speaking of bets, over a half interception was going to be a given in that game. There's opportunities there when you throw for 300 yards. There's opportunities there. Corners just got burned. And then a newly acquired Rich R-Dub here had a good one, homie. You would have liked this one. DJ Dallas over 100 yards. And we discussed this a little bit. Without Kenneth Walker, I figured DJ Dallas would get a few more carries. Homer only got 1. Gino had like 6. And then Penny only had 12, which is astonishing to me. I think that changes when we talk about next week. I think that changes dramatically. However, DJ Dallas did have 77 return yards. So good call out, Rich. He was close.
Yeah,
I take that as a halfway win there.
Yeah, I was. I knew there was a big possibility that he might not, because I knew they had liked him on special teams. But in some of them games here a few weeks back, I mean, he was just blowing through the line. And I don't know if they were just trying to get him hardened up for the season, but yeah, I'm impressed. I mean, DJ's a beast, man, little beast. Yeah, 77 yards on 3 carries. That's not bad.
Yeah, especially get the good field position, but in the second half, you don't know what to do with it when you get in the second half. Control the ball, which is weird. They didn't have a lot of offensive possessions in the second half, and I think that changes next week. All right, homie, what you got? Anything else before we get into week 2?
No, man, that was a perfect segue, man. Let's get into next week.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what I like right now. Just talking about your boy you brought up about 15 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago, your Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. I'll just say it right now. You got the Chargers +4 and over under 54. Even though all 3 of the primetime games hit the under last week, for week 1, complete opposite of last year, where I think the overs hit in 7 of 9 in the first 3 weeks of the season. I'll tell you right now, the Broncos have a better defense. They're going to be all over Mahomes. Mahomes is going to get rushed.
Chargers, yeah.
What'd I say?
Broncos.
Oh, you still got Broncos on here. You got orange
Chargers.
Crush on your line.
Okay, the Chargers, right? The Chargers have a better defense with Mack and Bosa. Derwin James out there, newly signed. They might have JC Jackson back. I'm not 100% sure yet.
That's a no.
No? Negative?
No.
Well, anyways, they're going to get to Mahomes. The hype is over. Go ahead and squash it. Be dead tonight. Broncos +4 all day. Any way you can get it. Take it to the bank. Take it to the counter. Cash that ticket. Easy money. That's the first game I got. What else you got? What do you got?
How you feel about tonight?
Well, I think it might be the Chargers. I think Chargers. I think Herbert's pretty underrated. He's a quiet dude. He's really good, and I think it'll be interesting. I think the Chargers are going to win. Probably 21-14 is what I'm thinking. I think Herbert will have over 300 yards.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those situations where it's dog or pass, and you don't feel bad about this. You don't feel bad about the dog in this situation because now you got a dog that everybody's scared of. Everybody's scared of this dog. This is the house with the sign on the fence that says "Beware the damn dog." Okay, okay, and so he's coming in. Herbert's coming in hot. Keenan Allen is out. Okay, and that's probably, to bettors and all of that, that's probably worth some points if you're talking about, what the line is and all that.
Sure, yeah.
But this kid, Dwayne Carter,
DeAndre Carter.
is that was his name? DeAndre Carter?
It don't matter. Yeah.
DeAndre Carter. Okay. But I think
same
Dwayne
thing.
might be Little Wayne even. I don't know. But anyway, but that dude looked good. He looked good, and he was targeting that guy regularly during week 1. So I don't think that there's a big thing. That's addition that they added because they already had skill players in that offense that they were good with. If they add that and then they lose Keenan Allen and don't have and basically be where they were, they're good. So this is one of them situations where division game. Oh, I love the stories. Prime time division game. Mahomes, Arrowhead, Noise, Young Herb, flowing locks. Okay, bolts, baby blue jerseys. Oh, and look, I'm probably going to be looking at team totals in this game if I'm playing anything, but I just think this is going to be a good game for the way that the schedule worked out and talking about wins and losses in the damn, in the columns and shit. But because this is going to be a big one. Division game week 2 in this division. Oh, this is heavy.
This is the heavy hitter division, and my thought on it goes against my gut because I think in Arrowhead the Chiefs are pretty much unbeatable, and I kind of was watching some highlights last year. You guys remember when it got down to the playoffs and the Chargers were in there, and you had Justin Herbert where you didn't think he was he's 4th and 5, get another first down. It's 4th and 15, gets another first down. That's 4th and 21, gets another first down. And it's like, dude, are you just gonna like just give up? He did not give up, and so that impressed me so much, and I forgot about that. And so going against my better judgment, if in that pressure setting in a playoff game, he can play as well as he did last year. Arrowhead might be a little difficult for him. California boy like that from Oregon. I think he might do all right.
If Brandon Staley kick a couple field goals, they'll win.
Hey, that's right. We got the over 3.5 field goals, right? In last week with Chargers.
If they kick one more field goal per game last year, they have another win somewhere.
Yeah.
And they're clearly in the playoffs. They fucking up. So hopefully the aggression that you're talking about is there. The growth is there. And the lessons from last year is there too, because that will make for a great game with Mahomes not giving up. Young Herb never wants to give up, especially what we saw with Mahomes and the Bills last year and what we saw from Young Herb last year. Oh, nobody wants to die. You better kill both of these men and take their heads off and roll it down the street.
They both better get, torn ACLs and get out, because this is the defining moment for both quarterbacks. Not so much for Mahomes. He's kind of proven himself. But for Herbert, this means a lot to him. I mean, people talk about how good he is. This is right here. This is playoff football for them. Yep. This game right here.
Going against your Jordan right here.
And the one thing, I did hear on a side note here that I know I heard Herbert give an interview last week. I don't even know what it was on or where it was at, but he was talking. I mean, obviously with Keenan Allen out, he was talking about his other receivers. He showed a little bit to DeAndre Carter, but he also talked a lot about obviously Mike Williams. Everybody knows about him, but he talked a lot about Josh Palmer and Jalen Guyton. But Palmer, I don't even believe he was targeted last week. He might have had one target last week, but Herbert was saying that Palmer was like his go-to guy, really getting a good connection with him. So I'm going to be interested to see with Allen out to see if Palmer steps up tonight and see how that goes with Palmer and Guyton and Williams, and then obviously Carter as well. So interesting to find out. So keep that little tidbit in your mind.
And to that point too, I mean, you can't give up you can't give up in your game plan in the game that you play before the game you want to win in. Right. So you see this all the time. Don't target. And it's done with a purpose because they don't want their main guy or the guy they didn't connect with to get double teamed the whole time. Yep. You give up all your good plays in your first game, second game, or if you're wanting to win 3 games away, last thing you want to do is show all your cards.
Yep.
So I don't know. And I heard that interview. I don't know if it was a matter of it was done on purpose or he couldn't get open, but if they're playing their cards right, they throw to other guys. And then in a game like this is when you start getting a guy that's wide open, single coverage, and start chunking up some yards. So
taking that opportunity.
Yeah.
Homie, you any other game on here or another game you want to discuss?
Oh, man, there's some stuff, man, in this week that is going to be interesting based on what happened last week. Okay. But I'm going to go to somewhere where you don't think I'm gonna go, because
I hope you're going where I want you to go.
Oh boy, I hope so too, because I'm ready to fire this thing up. Okay, look, what did I tell you about these damn New York Giants? What did I tell you?
Stop. That's
Brian
not what I want to talk about.
Day balls of stone. Okay, this coach don't give a damn. I'm telling you, he's on some Brandon Staley shit. I hope he don't get comfortable, because that was the ballsiest call. I'm telling you, I'm watching this red zone. He makes the call. We going for it, damn it.
Did you see how hyped this team was?
We're going for 2, and he took the headset off.
Yeah.
He took the headset off and said, look, I feel comfortable about this. I'm ready to do my press conference right damn now, regardless of what the results are. You know what? I like this damn guy. And there's a good reason why Bill Belichick tried to call Brian Flores and thought it was him. He probably called him because he's a cooler ass dude.
I forgot about that.
I mean, the risk of it wasn't really there. I mean, so you kick a field goal, you still run the risk of them running down anyway. So why not go for it? And moves like that, that's what gets a confidence with the team. That's what gets a quarterback going. That's what gets the offensive line a little more juice the next time they play to do a little bit better job of protecting Jones, right? Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Yep. But so that's the kind of stuff I think that Saquon, who's been hurt, he needs that, because he was looking good out there. And that's the thing. You don't want a guy who just after all of this injury problems, he's on the list with me and Kawhi Leonard and all these other people who've been on injury status for 2 years straight. But now that he's back and he looked good, taking an L in that situation,
not good for the confidence.
That could have hurt right here, right? So
especially after Saquon's performance, 164 yards, 18 carries.
You had to show your guys that you behind them, and we're gonna do this. And damn it, that was their damn Super Bowl too. So it's gonna be really interesting watching a team that took a hard L. Did you see the look on Baker Mayfield's face? losing to them dudes
by that many points.
Like that.
Yep.
Who the hell is Cade York? Y'all gonna find out. Okay.
Well, it's going to be interesting because you got them playing the Giants next week, right?
Yes. And it's a pick 'em. So whatever. So now it's basically what you decide.
I have Giants favored by 2 at home right now.
Look at that.
So it might have moved. It might have moved in the last 24 hours. I think I got that this morning. Looked it up
yours
this
is
morning.
More accurate.
So,
go ahead.
But yeah, -2, and Baker going down. Baker going into New Jersey after last week. I don't think his confidence is too high at this point. So
he might be angry. Yeah. He might be angry.
Yeah.
He might wake up dangerous.
He has a point to prove. He never should have left the Browns. I mean, he took them to places they hadn't been last year, and they just said, "Hey, let's bring a guy in that could maybe play." Right? Baker's not a bad player.
I like Baker.
No.
I was an advocate for Baker to come to Seattle. I ain't gonna lie. I would have had that. I would have took that opportunity behind my boy Jameis, which wasn't going anywhere,
or Garoppolo,
Gardner Minshew. I think Gardner.
Yeah,
for 1
Gardner
year.
Minshew.
No, you if you had those 3, you would have took Gardner, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would have.
No, you would have.
You're a mustache lover.
And I'm not a Coug, but go Cougs.
That's closer to his neighborhood. That's why.
Hey, well, let's so homie, do you have a pick on that game? Are you rolling with your Giants on this one since you did say at -2?
Okay, look, I make the game on my power rank. I have the Giants pretty horrible, but the way that the power rank works out, the teams are pretty jumbled together. I have these teams as even teams on my power rank. If I'm losing 2 points taking the Giants, I'm not feeling good about that. So this is another dog or pass situation for me. So I would feel comfortable. I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable. This is the opposite of the last one. I wouldn't feel comfortable dog or pass at this situation because we're talking about the Giants now off of that high, going home to face a New York fan base who ain't used to seeing this damn Giants team win. Now, then you got, are they going to get stressed out to where it's too much pressure? Or is they come in here to drop their draws and show their ass? Okay, so I think it's more of let's go show out for our fan base. So, yeah, they could easily win this game against Carolina, but Carolina can also beat them too.
Well, I think
I don't think there's much home field advantage for the Giants. I mean, that fan base, all it takes is 1 3 and out, and they're booing the whole team.
Booing.
You know, and I don't know how many games Baker Mayfield's played there, but you know, a lot of quarterbacks say that they like playing there because they don't feel like they're playing. They feel like they're playing on neutral ground. So,
yeah,
you know, it's gonna be up to that Giants team to come out slamming. And if they can do that, they get the crowd into it. It might be hard to overcome, but I don't know. It's going to be a battle. I agree with you. It's pretty even keel on that one.
I just had to get my Brian Day balls of stone reference in.
and it worked. Hey, I'd throw you under the bus, or I'd throw you on the spot, Rich, to let you pick a game. But I don't know if you have the schedule pulled up. So if you wanted to,
I got it pulled up.
Oh, you do? You want to pick a game? Go for it.
Professionals here.
Let's go.
I got it pulled up. Dolphins, Ravens.
Let's go.
Ooh, I like it.
I'm picking Dolphins.
Ooh.
Dolphins, the underdog at
I'm picking
plus 3.5.
Yeah, I'm picking Dolphins. I think Tua's got the tools now. I think Jalen Waddle's a beast. I think Hill, if everybody stays healthy, I think the Ravens. Look, and I like the Ravens too. I mean, that's a rough and tumble team. Got a great quarterback, great kid. You know, he likes to run his own contracts. It reminds me of Bobby Wagner, how he ran his own contracts. I respect that. He cares about money, doesn't want to give it to somebody else. And he's got a lot to do this year because he's a hold in, not a hold out.
There you go.
But something about me tells me Miami's starting to get a little bit of magic there, right? I think they might pull the win out against the Ravens. I think they're gonna. I think the Dolphins will beat the Ravens by 10.
Ooh, I like it. Even.
Say it with your chest.
Hey, I'd take I'd take the 3.5 all day. Another one of those dogs, plus 3.5. I'd definitely take it. I think they're gonna. Like you. If I remember correctly, I might even picked them to make the playoffs. But I'm in on Miami, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm going the same way with you guys. I'm leaning in that direction too.
Keep them while they're hot.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see a whole lot from Tua that leads me to believe that something super special is going on, but it looked good. It looked cohesive. It looked better than it used to look. And I picked them to make the playoffs. I know I picked them to make the playoffs. And
we both.
I also have Miami, or I'm sorry, not Miami, but Baltimore being a downgraded team. Baltimore struggled last week, only scored 2 touchdowns against the Jets. Okay, so Baltimore is still having their situation. I mean, there was 3. I think Lamar ran one in, or no, it was 3. It was 3 touchdown passes actually, but nevertheless, even though it was the Jets, and now they didn't let the Jets score or anything, so it was just all field goals. But it's the Jets. Who cares? So I still don't know anything about that particular team. Let's give them a test. Let's put them. Let's get them at home. I would make this. I'd have this game a whole lot a little bit closer. The market has it at 3.5. I have it at 2 to Baltimore, which means in that situation I would have an edge. I would play Miami too because I'm getting an edge.
Yeah, I like Miami in this one as well. And I think with the new head coach, he's got the energy. He's young. He's fired up. He's ready to go. The team's believing. He's backed Tua since he got on the plane and gave him a phone call. You got to ride the confidence with this Miami team. Tyreek Hill saw something there to leave Mahomes to go play with Tua. 100% right.
Well, in the yards after catch was really impressive. So yeah,
that's what it was.
If Tua's hitting his mark, it's the guys that got the talent to double step. And I don't remember what the yards after carry, but it was, to me, it was the most, I think, in all the games that happened on Sunday. So that's they once they get the ball, be a 5-yard side route, and they're picking up 25 yards. So, and Waddle,
he's got that yard.
Got that swagger.
He's got that yak too.
Yeah.
Don't let him get free. Hey, let's talk about your boys. Hey, look,
all right, you know where I was going with this.
Let's go. Because this is a hard week. Yeah, this is a hard week for your boys.
Wait, I think you got mixed up here.
No.
You're thinking ahead. What I'm thinking?
Go ahead.
Go
Detroit
Football Lions.
Let's go.
Detroit Football Lions.
Let's go. It's hard knocks out here.
I'm telling you, I'm on the bandwagon, and
now here's a piece of information that I found out about this game that is a little disheartening. Okay, this is the first time they a favorite in 25 games.
Yeah, I thought it was 23, but first time they've been a favorite, 1.5 point favorite at home against your Washington Commandos.
But see, here it is.
We need to find that fight song that we were talking about.
I know, but remember what we saw all last year when we were looking at ATS. Who was there number 2 all year?
Detroit,
fighting, scratching, biting me.
Detroit every time. Always made it close.
12-6 total under this coach now. Okay, now they only won 3 of them. They only won ATS, but then they only won 3 of them games, so it don't matter. Now they're favored though. So now how do you feel about a Detroit Lion team that is now the favorite versus the Commandos? And
I'm still taking 1.5. I'll even take 2.5. I think it's at least a 3-point victory at home for Detroit. And I don't believe in Carson Wentz. I mean, he had Curtis Samuel, he hit him last week. I couldn't even name you McLaughlin, whatever his name is. Lauren McLaurin, that's it. McLaurin, he had that good game too, but I think it's a different ball game this week against the Detroit. However, Detroit, every time you turn on the red zone, Philly was in the freaking 1-yard line last week. Every stinking time. So they got to find a way to not let them get to the 1-yard line. Okay.
Let's go.
But another point, homie, that I know we discussed this last year was scores in every quarter that you can find if you go to the counter sometimes, right? And I believe that we were on it last year with Detroit scoring in every quarter for some reason, even because they'd always cover, and they were a second half team that put up points. I mean, they put up 14 in the first half last week. They put up 21 in the second half last week, all touchdowns. So they scored 5 touchdowns. They did lose by 3, covered the spread last week. So 1-0 against the spread going into this week. Now they're at home, favored. They're going to keep that streak going, cover the spread again, even though the favored spread this time for the first time in 25 games, like you said.
Yeah, I don't know where Detroit gets a spark for anything, to be honest. I don't know for how many years. I mean, didn't they get the number 1 draft pick as a quarterback? Didn't they have the best running back in the NFL? Right. It's
best wide receiver.
Best wide receiver, Megatron. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if I believe the hype that they're going to go in and win.
You haven't watched Hard Knocks.
And here's the thing. They're like the bad news bears of the NFL, right? I mean, it's just for whatever reason they're just cursed. And you got Wentz and you've got Goff, right? These guys were drafted. I think they're drafted right around the same years. I mean, they're both kind of old horses.
Yeah, either right and year after each other, I believe.
Right. Kind of in the same, I guess, era. And they were drafted pretty high up in the draft. So they're both talented, but I don't know if it's been coaching or, what's gone nerves over the years, but you just kind of feel like it's the JV, the seniors that are playing JV football that are going to fight against each other. And it's just kind of like, I don't know what's going to come out of it, but I don't know if the Lions can pull it off. Being at home to me doesn't seem to matter that much for them. Their fans are very fair weather.
Rich, no, this is all the JV guys finally made varsity. They're fired up, man. They're fired up. You ever go to a summer practice in high school and how hard they're hitting? They're fired up and they ain't played a damn game yet. This is the Detroit Lions. They're fired up for no reason, and I love it. It's just the burning stupidity. You have to have what Obama said, irrational confidence. You have to have irrational confidence to think you could be a Michael Jordan or Paul Allen and Steve, Jeff Bezos, any of these guys. You have to think. You have to be mental in some ways, but you got to be confident in yourself. To the complete level of being an idiot. Okay, and that's what these dudes are. Because
I know. Well, okay, so here's my prediction. Here's my prediction. The game ends 0-0 in overtime.
0-0. Give me a ticket on that, brother. That's gonna be plus 25,000 right there.
That would be
at least plus 12.
One in the history of the NFL. I'm not. I mean, look, I got Sunday ticket. I'm probably not going over there.
What?
Maybe because my 0-0 prediction, but that's a tough one. I really like Goff and I like Wentz too, but I've just been disappointed over their gameplay, and then they're on teams that I just don't get excited with anymore. I liked it back.
Watch that Hard Knocks, baby.
Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks will have you believing in the damn Bengals 6 years ago.
That's right.
Yeah, the Browns at any time. The Browns have been around, right?
Yeah. So see, the only problem I have with the 0-0 tie, if I'm not going to put a ticket in there, because I believe I was just on the record saying that the Detroit Lions score in every quarter of this game. Print it, mark it up, good to go. On to the next, and they'll cover the 1.5.
Yeah, well, I'll put a bow on it, but unfortunately, my power rank has it going the other way. If I was playing anything, I would take the Skins / the Commandos. Okay, that's straight up. That's just what I would do. What do we got? Hey, let's go to, before we get into the hometown, let's do something a little bit different since we got a different hometown in here. We got the Broncos with a double digit after getting shellacked. Not really shellacked, but they got beat by the Seahawks. Now they got the Texans, who's fighting and scrappy too, coming in to the Mile High, 52-80 to be exact. If you didn't know, that's how many feet it takes to get to a mile home, boy.
Exactly. And every time I go up my stairs, I can tell you that's a true statement. I'm huffing and puffing like a fat boy that's been eating some Krispy Kremes.
Hey, so what you got on the on Russell Wilson and the Broncos for this week? The 10.5 points, double digits. I mean, over Houston, they got him.
Look, I like Mills. Been kind of a surprise, right? Kind of was drafted. He's kind of down in the dumps of that big quarterback draft class.
Right.
But he's done a really good job. But look, it's Mile High. You can't prepare to play any kind of football up here, even if you show up a week early. It is tough. It is hard to play. Even the fans, they go crazy, and then they get out of breath as well, right? They don't sell as much beer here because it doesn't take much, because the oxygen level is a lot lower. So, that's an unfortunate thing for the fans. But yeah, I'm taking Denver. I think Denver double digits. I think they're going to be up on them probably 17 points.
Man, I'd like to just stay away from this game, but if I had to pick, I'd take Denver at a double digit win, 10 or 10.5 if I had to.
Russ has got, look, there's been all sorts of conversation about, hey, you paid him all this money. A lot of people have kind of, on sports talk radio, kind of mirror my sentiments as far as getting a lot of yards and getting touchdowns to add to his, I guess, legacy, right? As far as getting into the Hall of Fame or quote unquote being the best quarterback of all time, which is what he, he proclaims. He says he's the best. He knows he's the best. And I appreciate and applaud him for having a lot of confidence, but sometimes you feel like when your kid comes home with a painting and they think it's like, Bob Ross or something like that. And you go, oh, that's nice, Billy. It's really good painting, but the reality of it is that Seattle should have lost by double digits. That's the reality of it. Russell Wilson, if he's as good as he thinks he is, and as everybody else says that he is, there should have been a huge W, and Broncos should have been coming back to Denver pretty high. But I think Russ has heard enough trash talk out there that now he realizes that it's not only the yards that he gets, but he's got to put up some substantial numbers in the end zone. And so, Broncos are going to be up.
Bounce back. And the coach is second guessing himself and says, you know what? Now he heard the word on the street and the talk from all these commentators about, your $45 million quarterback. There might be a new game plan at Mile High for their opening game at Denver.
No, now it'll be 4th and 15, and then he'll call it, right?
And he'll go, "Yep, we're going for it, Russ. Yeah,
we're going
on our own 25, like Brandon
yeah, exactly."
I'm conflicted, y'all, on this one. For me, damn it. We followed for years the first 2 weeks of road teams going to Denver and how sorry they are because they can't deal with the elevation. And there's a thing on that. I wish I would have had it. Well, we've talked about this seasons before. It's a thing that road teams don't fare well in the first 2 or 3 weeks in Denver. Same thing with Miami because of the heat down there this time of year.
Yep.
So, and then when I go and do my power rank and I do it and I go, well, Seattle is a 1.5 better, I think, than Houston before I saw them games last week, right? And I'm going, okay, I make up the power rank. This game should be a 6 to Denver. So these other 4.5, this is basically another touchdown is what you're saying from what I think. Is happening right here. So in this situation, after what I saw, the eye test, it's difficult for me to think that Denver would go down 2 times in a row. But to be honest, after what I saw and knowing the Texans like I know them, being for 20 years, a diehard Indianapolis Colts fan, okay, being in that division with those jokers, they fight, they scrap, and we just saw it last week. Tie, okay, against the Colts I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay? If I would have flew down to Reliant and watched that damn game, I'd have been so damn pissed. Okay, that year I flew to Reliant and watched them. If that would have been a tie, the Colts versus the damn Texans, that'd have been a tie. I'd have been pissed. Okay, so getting back to the point, it's only a 6-9 game, so I would have to take the double-digit dog against Denver. If I lost by 2 touchdowns, I would just have to take the fade.
But you just said too yourself going to Denver, so you kind of contradict a little bit. But
that's why I'm conflicted.
I mean, 0-2. I mean, 1-1 is a lot better than 0-2. But for Houston, but I mean, I just don't. Early in the season, like you said, traveling up there. I mean, I'm gonna have to side with Rich on this one. I don't see. I think they go back to reality after their whatever happened.
Russ will find a win. He can't be running around town in his big old Dodge Ram truck that he's got and
wearing his jersey
to everybody and then turn around and lose another game. He will find a way. He has the passion in him. He had it every game in Seattle until they lost that Super Bowl and lost it. And
that's true.
He knows he will do what it. I think he'll put his pride aside and he'll try to go out and score some touchdowns early and try not to do like last minute heroics. I think he was really trying to make Seattle look silly. And the hype in Seattle. I mean, Russ has never been on the field when it's been that loud. Mm-hmm. He has been. I mean, what was it? Three offsides calls.
Yeah, I told you them false starts were coming.
Delay of games as well. So he's back home. He's in Denver, his home now, and I think he cannot walk away. He He's got the only Dodge Ram truck that's got like zombie material all over it. Everyone knows who he is. He can't. He's got to win. He'll find a way.
And he don't have the same luxury he had up here with the tenure. He don't have the same tenure with them people. Them people might not have. They got a short fuse out there. They had to deal with Brock Osweiler, man. They had to deal with Pastor Lynch, man. They had to short fuse.
Saw Jake Plummer the other day. I mean, that
the
hippie,
last good one. The last good one.
that hippie. And you got Peyton Manning. I mean, you guys, did you see the Monday night? Peyton Manning, Eli were like,
oh yeah, he was.
Take a timeout. This is where we take a timeout.
Oh.
This is where now we're gonna
Peyton was through.
Okay, now take a time. Okay, now what are you guys doing? Right,
and Peyton's over.
And I was there, watching Russ practice there at Dove Field at Power, the practice facility, and Manning was there. Manning's involved. I'm sure Manning had a lot to say, and Russ is good enough. He's going to listen, but it's not going to be the same Broncos. They are embarrassed. They are extremely embarrassed. The whole city's embarrassed. Kids at school are embarrassed.
Talk to him. I hope Peyton talked to him because
I'm sure they talked right after the game.
Well,
all
Peyton
right,
and Elway. Peyton and Elway talking to him.
Yeah, Peyton and Elway. That's right. Two of them. All right, homie. Let's close this out. We got Atlanta at your Rams and Seattle at San Francisco. We just talked a little bit. Atlanta, the Rams are 10.5-point favorites at home. Do you still believe in their defense against Atlanta, or do you still not believe in their defense against Atlanta? And then, like I said, Seahawks are 8.5 underdogs. I have something to say about that. Let's start with the your hometown team, your Rams. Homie.
I don't think it's going to get any better. They're going to squeak this. They're going to squeak out this win, but they are not going to look good against this team. Okay. The reason why they're not going to look good against this team is because they're going to try to overcorrect. You saw what happened last week with all the wideouts getting loose in this game. That's not Atlanta's thing. Atlanta, now you have to deal with like having this is going to be like their warm-up for having Trey Lance in the group, except for Trey Lance is young. He doesn't know how to do it. Marcus Mariota has been doing this. Okay. So all of their option style plays, and you got Gadget, Cordero Patterson doing whatever. Drake London's having a good week. Oh, not to mention, they've got a halfway decent tight end who don't look like a tight end. Okay. So I just think that they're going to be able to get loose and cause some confusion. Now, are the Rams going to be able to correct what happened last week? Not wholly, not wholesale, no. But are they going to look better, or is the offense going to look like it has some flow to it? Yes, because you have to remember, this isn't the old Rams team with Wade Phillips as the quarterback, where everything was all defense. They used to shut down Wade Wilson and Jeff Fisher. They used to shut down the Seahawks all the time. This is McVay, who likes to go offense. So believe he went back to the lab and cooked up on the O side of the ball. And I'm telling you, Allen Robinson was free. He was free. He was free. So this is my hometown play of the week. Not on the line, but if I had to put my hand tied behind my back, I wore the damn jersey for a reason, because I am not a hater. Okay. I am not a hater. Okay, but it is Michael Vick, by the way. But shout out to Pete. Shout out to Peter. But anyway, I would take the double-digit dog in this game and feel real good about it. Like I said, this is one I would take it and feel real good about it. But the hometown play of the week is surprisingly your boy with the supposedly messed up arm. Matt Stafford will not throw one single interception. Not even a one. He's cleaned it all up. Sean McVay was all in his ear. And I'm trying to tell you, going against them defensive players this week, I'm telling you, it was aggressive out there. And since that's going to happen, correlated. Allen Robinson, 100-yard receiving game. Could this be the game that Cooper Kupp does not get his 100 because Allen does? Maybe. Lock in.
Negative.
Homie, I know, right? Hometown play of the week. Mark it up.
100 yards, 1 TD, you said?
100-yard game. Matt Stafford, 0 interceptions. Cleans it all up.
Got it. Well, I don't have much to say about the Rams in Atlanta, but I'd have to take your homie insight on that, homie, and roll with the underdog on this one at plus 10.5, in my opinion. But that, I mean, it's just like you said with Mariota. I guess we talked, about Mariota earlier. So he brings a different dynamic to the game, and he's healthy and ready to go and played well last week. So we'll see. Rich, you got anything on the Rams and Atlanta?
Well, McVay's a beast. I can say that much. I don't like him that much just because of where he's coaching, but he's smart enough. He knows how to get those guys rallied. I think they learned from last week. I think they're playing back at home. It had to have been embarrassing to drop the Super Bowl flag, play a game, and lose.
Come on.
That's tough. That doesn't happen very often, right?
It was
so. In my mind, they got a little bit more to prove, but here we go. We got Mariota that just doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's just playing. He's out there having fun. Nothing to worry about. And I think Falcons are kind of sitting there going,
don't sleep on us.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, this guy's doing way better. Maybe I need to step my game up too. I still think the Rams win it, but I think the Falcons walk away with a pretty good idea of where they sit as a team. And I think you're going to see them getting better and better as long as Mariota stays healthy and they can keep him protected. But for Mariota though, too, he's kind of coming back to the West Coast, kind of a reunion back, the old Pac-10 days. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. I think the Rams are they're probably going to win by 10.
Dang. We got a double digit, and then myself taking the underdog, and me kind of on the fence, but we'll see. He didn't have to pick. He didn't.
Rams win this game. They just don't win by 13, or nothing like that. That's not what this game is going to be. It just is.
Georgia Heat and California Heat, two different things. Playing in a dome, it's a different thing. And I don't. Do you guys know what Falcon jerseys they're wearing? You know what color they're wearing? Are they doing any funky rush thing or?
I don't know, but the SoFi is the greatest football stadium in the world. It's air conditioned and plus air, the sea breeze from the beach coming through, through the little hole in the side. So everybody will be all right.
It is a little different though. I spent a lot of time in Atlanta and spent a lot of time out in California. It is not the same.
Not at all.
Nope. Well, we got the Seahawks at San Francisco 49ers. I don't know if you can really, like I said, they're 8.5 point underdog. Only 41 over under. And I don't think you could really take much away from the monsoon game that the Niners just played, except for
absolutely nothing.
I think Rich referenced it earlier that that San Francisco's healthy. Did you mention, was that who you were talking about earlier, Rich?
Not
I can't
healthy.
remember.
No, San Francisco doesn't have as many on injured reserve or probable. I think they only had 2.
Yeah, I know
Seattle's got 8 or 9. Yeah, Seattle's got 8 or 9.
So we'll see.
Some of them are key players, some of them aren't. But
yeah, so I think we talked a lot about last week's game. I wonder how this is going to go. I like we discussed, it's many times it's hard for the Seahawks to lose a game by a touchdown. They'll somehow keep it close, in my opinion. I would definitely take the Seahawks with the bandwagon play of plus 8.5. If it goes any higher, that's just easier money for everyone out there. Get it at 8.5. I'll take it at plus 9 and then see what happens as well. But, that's going to be thing. The one thing I want to see, I need to know, I know we got plenty of time and days till this happens to find out for sure, but I'd like to see Kenneth Walker healthy and playing. I think they sat him out like we always talk about in the NBA, load management, right? So you're not going to bring him back in right away off the surgery, do what you got. With only having 19 rushes last week, that's odd to me from Pete. I think that you're going to have a steady dose of the run game again, or back to the run game to keep it that way. I still don't know what San Francisco is. I mean, with Trey Lance, you don't know. I mean, in my opinion. So my hometown play of the week is I'm going with Penny and Walker, just them two, over 120 yards rushing.
Combined.
What's that?
Combined,
yeah. Combined, so they'll both get over 60 as well, so it'll be over 120. They'll split it up, they'll both get over 60. That's my hometown play of the week. And the other one I'd kind of want to lean towards is, I think the Seahawks only had 2 sacks last week on Russell Wilson. I think they bump it up. I think they'll get 3.5 on a rookie not rookie quarterback, but Trey Lance in the second year. Think they'll find a way to get at least to get to 3.5 on this one, just out there for a defensive purposes. Since I picked a defense one last year, I got to pick the sacks at 3.5.
Yeah, I have a hard one with this, because I think 49ers have got one offensive lineman that's out, that's starter, at least now is probable. But then you've got Jamal Adams out indefinitely. Yep. Torn quad. You've got Shelby Harris out, at least for now, with back. If he doesn't get in there, going to have a hard time getting to the quarterback. Who was it? Tariq Woolen.
Yeah, Woolen. Yeah.
He's got neck problems. I was thinking maybe we'd get a couple of INTs. So mine was going to be that we'd get at least one INT. But it's hard, because you've got a lot of the good defensive guys out. So this game worries me a little bit. Yeah, I think the 49ers are going to take it. I think they're going to win. They're just healthier. They're doing a lot better. They're obviously, after playing a wet game, when they get on solid ground, it's going to be tough. And I'm just sitting here looking at the list. I mean, we got Gabe Jackson out, Jamal Adams, Artie Burns, cornerback, growing, Shelby Harris, defensive end, back, Quandre Diggs, knee.
Oh, geez.
Jake Curran, offensive tackle, elbow, Damian Lewis, guard, knee, ankle, Kenneth Walker, knee, ankle, or hernia, sorry, Cody Barton, right? So I would have said we could get in there and sack the QB a couple of times, but with Cody Barton, if he's going to end up being out, that's going to be a tough one too. So it's hard for me to, I think on the things that I do know, I think Geno Smith will get over 200 yards this time. And I think he'll be perfect passing in the first half again.
Ooh.
But other than that, I have a hard time calling anything on defense. I think we'll get one interception. But we're banged up pretty bad right now, at least as of today's report.
Yeah, and it's Thursday, so hopefully that gets cleared up tomorrow, and then obviously before they catch the flight. But we'll probably know more. The one thing I do want to add to that is I know Kittle was out last week, and we've always discussed how bad or how much or how integral to any team that plays the Seahawks defense that the tight ends usually have good games. And it scares me, if Kittle's healthy and ready to go, Kittle will have a big game. And that's kind of the thing that kind of scares me a little bit about that, because it seems like the tight ends always have decent games against the Seahawks. So
yeah, I don't know if Seattle's kind of explained the game to the guys, but the middle of the field, you have to kind of protect that a little bit. It just seems tight ends they go out there, they make like a little campfire. They got hot dogs going, one catch, pack up.
They're not hard to miss. I mean, there's big old glutes standing out there in the middle of the field wide open. Yeah. So you might want to cover them.
You want to cover him? No, you going to cover? No, you go ahead. No, he's way too big. We'll just let him catch the ball, and then we'll do an arm tackle.
Yeah.
Tyler Higbee loves coming up here. Everything that you guys already said. Okay, that's all of that stuff is warranted. This is another circumstance, double-digit dog. There's no way I would lay any money on the 49ers in this situation, because for one, like has been said, we don't know anything about the 49ers. But do we not know anything about the 49ers? Because what I can tell you, that even though Trey Lance went 13 for 28, which will get you fired, benched, cut immediately, for 100 and some change in a gorilla monsoon. His longest throw was still 44 yards.
Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. He was trying to get his wing on. That I do know. Okay, so he was weather hampered is the situation with those guys. Now, did the weather hamper them from lighting it up on Chicago? I don't know, because Debo wasn't looking right. But then again, you're talking about weather again with all of this stuff. Elijah Mitchell is going to be out, and the reason why I know this is because I was an idiot that drafted the dude in fantasy. Okay, so he's out. There you go. Now they're literally talking about having Debo split time back there, like literally as a tailback. And then, so that's going to take away from his threat of being on the outside. Now, what would really be great, now, from a fan point of view, the big anonymous Rams house homie would love to see the Seahawks beat the 49ers in this situation. Oh, I would love nothing better than for them to beat the hated 49ers. But again, with all the stuff that you guys said, injury situations with the Seahawks, on top of them being depleted, hashtag tank for Bryce starts week 2. Got to. There's no need to waste any time. Let's just get after it right now. But at the same time, continue to be focused and build and make sure that you guys are not just out there playing, because I'm going to tell you what I saw, which was the saddest thing watching the Seahawks game. Kobe Bryant. How are you going to desecrate a name and get torched like he got torched? He got torched for that touchdown, boy, and he didn't see the field ever again. Will he get back on the field? I don't even know.
He might have to with all his injuries.
Right. But see, I was sitting up here going, I was telling the other homie, I was going, yo, don't worry about it. You guys got Kenneth Walker. You might not know who he is, but I do. I had money on Michigan State. Okay. He's going to be good. I had money on Cincinnati Bearcats. This kid, Kobe Bryant and Sauce Gardner, who you didn't get, is going to be good. They're going to be good. Trust me. You'll be fine. And then look, now I look like an asshole. I'm getting texts from people talking about, look at this fool who getting torched by people. Man, look, I don't know what to think. But I just know the Seahawks made me personally look bad in this situation. Okay. So therefore, start the tank for Bryce. Okay. Just start it right now. Cause hey, I'm waiting for Kraken season. Let's go.
Hey, shout out Kraken. Rich, you got anything else before we close it up out here?
No, I'd love, my heart's saying, Seattle, like I said before, I'm forever optimist. I think Seattle can win this game, but at what cost? How many more injuries? How much more effort do you throw into it? How much more craziness do you get into it? And for what? I mean, do we honestly feel in our heart of hearts we're going to win the Super Bowl? I don't know. Pete Carroll might be telling those guys, and he's a competitive guy, but I think you got to have the right people at the right place playing the right plays, and we got a lot of people out right now. So,
100%. Hey, well, Rich, we appreciate you coming on again.
Yes, sir.
Check out Rich's YouTube channel, Colorado Cardboard Kings, right?
Yeah. It's been a minute. I got tons of videos in the queue. I got to throw up there. So,
and there's tons of videos out there to peep out. So if you're
right.
Card collectors, boys and girls, this is the one to peep out. So, hey, everybody, thanks for listening. This is a little lengthy one. We're going to split it up. There's going to be 2 halves. I got the timestamps ready to go, part A, part B. But remember to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast platform. Go to thisfunner.com for more podcasts and online content. Grab some merch while you're there from the Funner family. You need one of these shirts right here. Mm-hmm. Check us out on YouTube, Sports Fix with Stix and Nas Big Homie. Subscribe and smash that like button. Also follow me on Twitter at Stix015. Follow this guy, Nas Big Homie, at homie_anonymous. Hey, thanks again, Rich, for coming on. Really appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Homie, what you got for the people?
Hey, yo, shout out to Rich, Stix, homie, in game. This is Funner.
We out.
That was Sports Fix with Stix. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. If you want to join the show, use the hashtag StixandSports.
Winners don't make excuses.